Hello and welcome to Fast and Factual. My name is Utsaf Parekh and here are the top stories of the day. 6 workers were missing and are presumed dead after a bridge collapsed in the US city of Baltimore yesterday. The Francis Scott Key Bridge crumbled after a massive cargo ship rammed into it. Several vehicles on the bridge at the time plunged into the waters of the Patapsco River. The governor of the US state of Maryland has declared a state of emergency. Meanwhile, the port of Baltimore remains closed to ships. The Israeli army has confirmed that it killed Hamas's Marwan Issa in an airstrike. Earlier this month, the Israeli military targeted an underground compound in the central Gaza Strip. Back then, they were still trying to verify Issa's death. Issa was at the top of Israel's most wanted list. He's believed to be among the people who masterminded the October 7th attack on Israel. US Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin met with his Israeli counterpart Yoav Gallant at the Pentagon yesterday. During the meeting, Austin called for the protection of Palestinian civilians and referred to the situation in Gaza as a humanitarian catastrophe. Meanwhile, Gallant reiterated Israel's vow to destroy Hamas and bring back the Israeli hostages. The meeting between Austin and Gallant came after Netanyahu cancelled a separate Israeli delegation's visit to Washington. Meanwhile, senior Hamas leader Ismail Haniyeh met with Iran's Ayatollah Ali Khamenei in Tehran. During the meeting, Khamenei reiterated Iran's support for the Palestinian people in Gaza. Before the meeting with the Ayatollah, Haniyeh had met with Iran's foreign minister Hossein Amir-Abdollahian. During that meeting, Haniyeh claimed that Israel had failed to achieve its goals in Gaza. The head of Russia's Federal Security Service has accused Ukraine, the US and the UK of being involved in Friday's deadly concert attack in Moscow. Britain has rejected Russia's allegations as quote-unquote utter nonsense. Ukraine has dismissed the accusations as lies. Meanwhile, the Afghanistan-based Islamic State Khorasan Province, or ISKP, has claimed responsibility for the mass shooting. Belgian farmers took to the streets of Brussels to protest. They protested in the district housing the European Union headquarters. This came ahead of the meeting of the EU's agriculture ministers. There were over 250 tractors on the road, and the protesters poured dirt, dumped manure and burnt haystacks in the streets. The Belgian police used water cannons and tear gas to disperse the protesters. Both abortion rights and anti-abortion demonstrators held rallies in front of the US Supreme Court building yesterday. People held banners quoting, "Our bodies, our freedom." Meanwhile, other banners read, "Chemical abortion hurts women." This came as the US Supreme Court heard arguments in a case on the abortion pill mifepristone. The popularity of the abortion pill surged in the US after the Supreme Court quashed abortion rights in 2022. The latest case risks further restrictions on the access to mifepristone. Indonesia's losing presidential election candidate Anies Baswedan has said that last month's election was unjust and not freely held. He has alleged that there was significant state interference to sway the outcome in favor of the new president-elect, Prabowo Subianto. Anies has requested an election rerun and the disqualification of Prabowo from the ballot. Beijing has demanded a thorough investigation from Pakistan after 5 Chinese nationals were killed in a suicide bombing attack. The attack took place in the Khyber Pakhtunkhwa province yesterday. A suicide bomber rammed an explosive-laden vehicle into a convoy of Chinese engineers, killing all 5 of them. The US has said that it does not support a Pakistan-Iran gas pipeline project going forward. Washington has also warned Islamabad that it could risk sanctions by doing business with Tehran. The Pakistan-Iran gas pipeline, known as the Peace Pipeline, is a long-term project between the two countries. It will transport natural gas from Iran to Pakistan. Indian officials held a 40-minute meeting with the U.S. diplomat this morning. This comes after India objected to America's remarks over the arrest of Delhi's Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal. Earlier, the U.S. said that it was closely monitoring Kejriwal's case and called for a transparent legal process. Last week, Arvind Kejriwal was arrested in a case related to a liquor policy scam. Employees of Argentina's Family Agriculture Ministry staged a protest in the capital Buenos Aires yesterday. This was in response to the ministry's closure. Last week, Argentina announced the closure of the ministry to curb government expenditure. The protesters say that the move is expected to result in over 900 job losses. But Argentine President Javier Milei is doubling down. Yesterday, he said that he plans to fire 70,000 government workers in the next few months. Colombian authorities have seized over 5 tons of cocaine from 2 anti-narcotics operations. One of the operations included a high-speed chase at sea. The army stopped a vessel off the coast of San Andres Island. The boat was carrying over 3.3 tons of cocaine. In climate news, firefighters have been trying to control a massive wildfire in western Peru. The flames have been raging in a wetland in the Nuevo Chimbote district since Saturday. Authorities say fire brigades were struggling to reach some areas due to the difficult terrain. 2 planes and a helicopter have also been deployed to tackle the blaze. France and Brazil launched an Amazon rainforest investment plan yesterday. This was announced by French President Emmanuel Macron and his Brazilian counterpart Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva. The plan aims to raise over $1 billion from private and public players over the next 4 years. The funds will be used to stop deforestation in the Amazon rainforest by 2030. Heavy rains and hailstorms have battered eastern and central parts of China over the past 3 days. This has led to severe flooding in several cities in the Anhui and Zhejiang provinces. In Anhui, rescue workers were seen wading through knee-deep floodwater to reach submerged vehicles. Meanwhile, egg-sized hailstones have rained down on Zhejiang. Indian climate activist Sonam Wangchuk has ended his hunger strike. He was observing a climate fast for 21 days. It began on the 6th of March. The fast was to draw the Indian government's attention to the fragile ecosystem of the Union Territory of Ladakh. Australia's Pacific Minister Pat Conroy says his country and the Pacific island nation of Tuvalu will go ahead with a climate migration pact. The migration deal will allow Tuvalu's citizens to migrate to Australia because the island nation is threatened by rising sea levels. The pact also allows Australia to oversee Tuvalu's security arrangements. Uganda's lion population has sharply declined over the past 20 years. The number of lions in the country stands at just 275. This is a 45% decrease from the 493 lion count in 2014. This decline is largely due to the growing conflict between humans and animals. According to a new study, planting trees in the wrong places can contribute to global warming. Usually, the Earth's surface absorbs certain amounts of sunlight and reflects the rest back into space. However, planting trees in the wrong place may cause less sunlight to get reflected from the Earth's surface. This can lead to the planet absorbing more heat, which in turn can contribute to global warming. On to business and tech news. Former US President Donald Trump's media firm, the Trump Media and Technology Group, made its debut on the New York Stock Exchange yesterday. In the first trading session, the firm's share prices rose by over 36%. With this, the company's market value has risen to over $9 billion. This comes as former President Trump has been struggling to raise money for his legal expenses as he faces a string of lawsuits. Shares of the US donut maker Krispy Kreme rose by over 40% yesterday. This was after the firm announced a partnership with fast food giant McDonald's. Under the deal, people will be able to buy Krispy Kreme donuts at McDonald's outlets across the US. The firm also aims to expand its distribution network to at least 75,000 locations globally. Chinese electric vehicle giant BYD has posted a 80.7% increase in annual profit, but it also showed its slowest rise in quarterly profit in 2 years. The firm reported close to a 19% rise in its fourth quarter profit. Analysts have said that BYD's discounts on cars have impacted its growth. BYD has been reducing car prices to attract more customers. Last year, it cut prices of 13 car models. South Korea's Hyundai Motors plans to invest over $51 billion in R&D for its electric vehicle business. This will be invested over the next 3 years. The $51 billion will be used in R&D for cars, battery technology, and EV software. Hyundai also plans to hire 80,000 new employees. Carmaker Stellantis has announced plans to lay off over 2,500 workers in Italy. The firm says most layoffs are voluntary and impact employees that are close to their retirement age. The layoffs come after Stellantis reached a deal with labor unions in Italy. The deal is part of the firm's cost-cutting plans as the carmaker transitions to clean energy. Telecom firm Vodafone is laying off around 2,000 employees in Germany. Vodafone says the layoffs will help it save over $430 million. These layoffs are part of a global cost-cutting drive that Vodafone started nearly a year ago. At the time, the firm had announced over 11,000 job cuts worldwide. The LG Group has announced a $74 billion investment plan for the next 5 years. The investments are expected to help the company get a more competitive edge in technologies such as artificial intelligence and green tech. The LG Group has said that it plans to work in fields such as batteries, auto parts, and next-generation displays. The German national rail operator Deutsche Bahn has reached a deal with its train drivers' union. Deutsche Bahn has agreed to reduce train driver working hours to 35 hours a week. The deal will help end the dispute between the German rail operator and train drivers' union. The dispute had led to several nationwide strikes in Germany. Electric car maker Tesla will offer U.S. customers a month-long free trial of its driver assistance technology, full self-driving. This is according to the firm's CEO, Elon Musk. Tesla's full self-driving system helps automate a car's steering wheel, brakes, and accelerator. However, it does not make the car fully autonomous and requires active driver supervision. The demand for Tesla's driver assistance technology has been declining in recent days. This is as Tesla cars with full self-driving have been involved in several accidents. Meanwhile, Elon Musk's artificial intelligence startup xAI is rolling out its chatbot Grok for more users. The AI chatbot will be available for premium subscribers of social media platform X, formerly known as Twitter. Earlier, the chatbot was only available for Premium Plus subscribers on the platform. Moving to sports, we start with cricket and the IPL 2024. Chennai Super Kings crushed Gujarat Titans by 63 runs at the Chepauk Stadium in Chennai yesterday. Batter Shivam Dube smashed a 50 and helped CSK post 206 runs in 20 overs. Dhoni pulled off a stunning catch to dismiss GT's Vijay Shankar in the 8th over. Gujarat's innings ended at an underwhelming 148 for 8. Meanwhile, Gujarat Titans skipper Shubman Gill has been fined over $14,000. This is for maintaining a slow over rate during the match against the Chennai Super Kings. An over rate refers to the pace at which the bowling team delivers their overs within a specified time frame. Shakib Al Hasan is back in the Bangladesh squad for their second test against Sri Lanka. The all-rounder was certified fit after recovering from an eye problem. Shakib has been out of the national team since the 2023 ODI World Cup in India. With his return, Bangladesh are looking to level the score against Sri Lanka after having lost the first test by 328 runs. In football, Afghanistan stunned India in a FIFA World Cup qualifier match yesterday. The Blue Tigers lost 1-2 to the lower-ranked Afghans on their home turf. Skipper Sunil Chhetri found the back of the net in the 37th minute to give India the lead, but Afghanistan countered with two second-half goals from Rahmat Akbari and Sharif Muhammad to seal the win. Meanwhile, Chhetri made a record during the match despite India's loss. The talismanic captain celebrated his 150th international appearance for India. The India vs Afghanistan qualifier also witnessed Chhetri score his 94th goal for India. The goal came from a penalty kick during the first half of the match. Ukraine qualified for the Euro 2024 football tournament yesterday. This happened after their dramatic 2-1 victory over Iceland in a playoff. Ukraine scored second-half goals through Viktor Sygankov and Mikhailo Mudryk. The Euros begin on June 14th in Germany. In tennis, world number 2 Carlos Alcaraz's winning spree continues at the Miami Open. The Spaniard has reached the quarterfinal of the tournament. Alcaraz crushed 23rd seed Lorenzo Musetti 6-3, 6-3. He will next face Grigor Dimitrov in the quarterfinal. Indian tennis star Rohan Bopanna and his Australian partner Matthew Ebden are through to the men's doubles semi-finals at the Miami Open. They defeated Sem Veerbeek and John Patrick Smith 3-6, 7-6, 10-7. The victory helped the duo increase their chances of securing an Olympics quota. In badminton, Indian shuttlers Trisa Jolly and Gayatri Gopichand got eliminated at the Madrid Spain Masters 2024. They suffered a 18-21, 22-20, 18-21 defeat in the first round of the women's doubles category. The Indian duo were playing against the American twins Annie and Kerry Shu. The official stamps for the 2024 Paris Olympics and Paralympics have been unveiled. Designers said the stamp celebrates the fundamentals of the Olympics and also the City of Lights, Paris. 800,000 copies of the stamp will be printed. They will be on sale to the public from April 5th. In entertainment news, lawyers for rapper Sean Combs, popularly known as Diddy, have called the probe against him a witch hunt. This comes a day after the U.S. Homeland Security officials raided 2 properties belonging to Combs. This is as part of a sex trafficking probe. Diddy's lawyers claim that yesterday's raids were based on meritless accusations against the musician. Combs has denied the allegations leveled against him. In a first, Saudi Arabia is all set to participate in the Miss Universe contest. Model and social media personality Rumi Al-Khatani will represent the country in the global pageant. The 27-year-old made the historic announcement on her Instagram profile. She has previously participated in the Miss and Mrs. Global Asian competition. The 2024 Miss Universe is scheduled to be held on the 28th of September in Mexico. The floating door from the movie Titanic was sold at a recent auction for more than $700,000. The slab of wood has been a topic of debate among fans since the release of the film in 1997. In the film, when the Titanic ship sinks, the door keeps Kate Winslet's character out of the icy waters, but it is unable to accommodate Leonardo DiCaprio's character. Many fans argue that the door could have saved both of them. This debate has fueled the door's popularity among the masses. Robert Pattinson and Suki Waterhouse have reportedly welcomed their first child together. The couple was seen taking a walk while pushing a stroller in Los Angeles. The baby comes 5 months after Waterhouse announced her pregnancy in November. Pattinson and Waterhouse have been together for over 5 years. Korean actor Lee San-yeob has tied the knot with his longtime partner in an intimate wedding. The wedding was held in Seoul on Sunday. He shared glimpses of his special day in a series of photos on Instagram. Details about Lee's non-celebrity bride remain private. Lee has starred in popular K-dramas including A Happy Woman, Eve, and Once Again. K-pop girl group Blackpink's member Lisa is celebrating her 27th birthday today. Her fellow band members Jisoo, Rose and Jennie posted their heartwarming wishes on Instagram. Meanwhile, Lisa's recently launched media company L Loud announced an exclusive merchandise drop to celebrate her birthday. American musician Bruce Springsteen will become the first international songwriter to receive an Ivors Academy Fellowship this year. The fellowship is the highest honor bestowed by the London-based Ivors Academy. Springsteen will be the 27th fellow to receive the honor, joining previously inducted famous musicians like Elton John, Sting and Kate Bush. The 74-year-old singer said he will dedicate the award to his fans and friends. Pop icon Shakira drew 40,000 fans at her surprise concert. The concert was completely free. It was announced on social media hours before it went live at New York's Times Square yesterday. The concert celebrated the release of Shakira's latest album. This is her first studio album in 7 years. Shakira shared a short clip from her pop-up concert, calling it an insane experience. Filmmaker Jerry Bruckheimer has revealed that the next Pirates of the Caribbean movie will be a reboot. The fifth and last installment of the franchise was released in 2017. It grossed over $790 million globally. Soon after the release, talks began about a sixth movie. However, writers working on the film left the project in 2019. Timothée Chalamet has signed a first-look deal with the Warner Brothers Studios. Chalamet will collaborate on future projects with the studio as an actor and producer. This does not mean that the actor can only make movies with Warner Brothers. Instead, the studio is entitled to the right of first refusal. Recently, Chalamet's back-to-back box office hits for the production house made over $1.2 billion globally. That's all for this episode of Fast and Factual. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned to Firstpost.